Hi, my name is Jiang Xiaowen, and you can call me Miley. I come from China. Today, I'm going to share with you my understanding of identity and language acquisition with my own language learning experience. So first of all, let's have a short review of myself. When I was in my secondary school, I found myself having strong interest in learning language. And I was always passionate and curious about learning cultures of Western countries. And that's the motivation I chose English language and literature as my major for my undergraduate program, which enabled me to continue my passion. During my program, I chose German as my second foreign language, which gave me a deeper understanding of European cultures and language acquisition. However, I didn't stop myself from there. After I got my bachelor degree in English, I decided to continue my journey. Finally, I stepped out to a foreign country, which is a Scandinavian country with a breathtaking beauty of nature, Norway. Due to my passion in learning language, I challenged myself with learning Norwegian by the age of 22, which I made it and met a lot of friends during my studying and life in Norway. By the age of 24, I left Norway and headed back to China. I chose my career path as an IELTS instructor for listening. At the meantime, I tried some other business of being a distributor of online direct selling company. At the same time, there was a voice inside of me kept pushing me to keep going, to explore the world. Considering my educational background, I started my new journey, which ended up in Canada. Luckily, I got 5 offers from all 5 schools I applied, but I made up my mind to come to Western. I found it fascinating while struggling of being a student again in a North American country. North American culture is slightly different from European culture, such as language, buildings, or people. In addition, the weather is too cold in winter, and the winter time is too long. Furthermore, I choose a completely different major this time, education. As my master degree, a field that is practical, but the course is on research and theoretical base, which varied dramatically from my previous path and passion. As a result, I've been through a struggling period of time. I have to adjust myself from the role of being an IELTS instructor to a student again. From my personal experience, you could see our identity in pursuing language acquisition is multiple and is a side of struggle, and it's changing over time. So as to why do I study language and education? One reason is relating to intrinsic motivation. For the pure reason of my interest and passion in learning language and get to know more about Western cultures by learning different language. However, in time, I found there's more value in learning languages, as I understood the advantage of being a trilingual speaker. That is to combine my teaching experience, my multilingual ability, and the professional English education background in Canada. I will become a more competitive candidate in job market, and the horizon of my work is broadened due to the exploration of language and culture all these years. So that's my instrumental motivation of studying language and education here. And in addition, I know that if I could be able to speak a foreign language fluently and authentically, I could be able to make more friends and get engaged in local activities. So this is my integrative motivation to study language and get my education in Norway and in Canada. So from the identity approach, I understood that as I invest in learning English, German, or Norwegian, not only I could acquire language, degrees, friendship, money, etc., but also an increase in value of my cultural capital and social power. And as the value of my cultural capital increases, a sense of myself and hopes for the future and my identity will be reassessed again during the process. So I could understand there is an integral relationship of my investment in learning language and identity. Then again, the identity is theorized as multiple changing over time, and it's also a side of struggle. From the identity approach, I would consider the following issues in my future teaching. First of all, I would consider to create a low affective filter for individual learners so that they have less stress, anxiety, but more confidence, which could facilitate their success in acquiring a language. And secondly, motivate students. Use constructive investment to complement the idea of motivation. So to explain to them the importance of invest in learning a language with explanation of cultural capital and social power. In addition, explain to them the details of the significance of integrative relationship among identity, the future, and with learning a language, so that they could have a positive attitude in the whole process of language acquisition. Lastly, I would apply an idea developed by Vygotsky, which is zone of proximal development. So I will provide learners guidance of language learning strategy and knowledge within their zone of proximal development to move them to a potential higher language level. Well, thank you for your listening, and I wish that you could learn more about myself and inspire you in your future language learning and teaching.